That omega-3 supplement you take every morning? It may be damaging your brain. Stop. For millions of seniors, fish oil is a daily ritual for brain health. But what if that ritual is based on a dangerous misunderstanding? Fish or supplements? Which really protects your memory after 55? Welcome, I'm Dr. Sophia Wells. In my 25 years as a neurologist practicing here in the United States, I've specialized in memory, cognitive health, and the prevention of devastating diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. And in that time, I have seen a critical and frankly dangerous mistake being made every single day, especially by intelligent, health-conscious people over 50. The mistake is this: believing that a handful of processed supplements can replace the profound, synergistic power of real, whole foods. Many seniors, perhaps even you, believe they are safe, that they are covered just by taking a daily fish oil capsule. The market is flooded with these promises, isn't it? You walk into any pharmacy or health food store, and the shelves are screaming at you. Boost your brain, clear the fog, memory formula, prevent dementia. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry built on one of our deepest, most primal fears, the fear of losing our minds, the fear of no longer recognizing our loved ones, of losing our independence. But here is the hard scientific truth. Many of these supplements are, at best, a waste of your hard-earned money. And at worst, they are actively harmful. How can that be? How can something healthy like fish oil be harmful? The answer lies in a single word: oxidation. Omega-3 fatty acids, the beneficial compounds we're all after, specifically EPA and DHA, are incredibly fragile. By their very chemical nature, they are polyunsaturated. This is a scientific term that simply means they have many double bonds, making them highly unstable and susceptible to reacting with oxygen. When they react with oxygen, they oxidize. In plain English, they go rancid. Now, think about the journey of that fish oil capsule. A fish is caught, processed, and its oil is extracted, often using high heat or chemical solvents. It's then shipped, bottled, and stored in a warehouse. It sits on a store shelf, and then it sits in your medicine cabinet. It could be months, or even years, old. Has it been exposed to heat during shipping? To light on the store shelf? To air every time you open the bottle? A landmark study from the University of Auckland, and later confirmed by many others, found that a staggering percentage of over-the-counter fish oil supplements, in some studies, over 80%, were oxidized beyond the international recommended limits. They were in fact rancid before you even bought them. When you ingest that rancid oil, you are not ingesting an anti-inflammatory compound. You are swallowing pro-inflammatory free radicals. These are volatile molecules that attack your cells, damage your DNA, and create systemic inflammation. You are adding fuel to the very fire you're trying to put out, the chronic inflammation that we know is a root cause of cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, and dementia. Furthermore, these capsules represent what I call nutritional reductionism. They lack the full spectrum of nutrients. When you eat a 3-ounce piece of wild-caught salmon, you don't just get EPA and DHA, you get high-quality protein. You get vitamin D. You get a critical mineral, selenium. You get a powerhouse antioxidant called astaxanthin, the pigment that makes salmon pink. And what does astaxanthin do? It is a natural preservative. It is nature's way of protecting those fragile omega-3 oils from oxidizing. These nutrients work in synergy. They are a team. Supplements, in their quest for high concentration, strip this team apart, leaving you with an isolated, vulnerable, and often rancid oil. You believe you are protecting yourself, but you may be unknowingly accelerating the very decline you so desperately fear. So, what does the science actually say when we compare consuming fish directly versus taking processed supplements? The evidence, when you look at it closely, is not just compelling, it is overwhelmingly clear. First, let's look at the studies on food. Large-scale, long-term observational studies, like the one from the Rush University Medical Center in Chicago, consistently show that older adults who eat fish 1 to 2 times per week have a significantly slower rate of cognitive decline. The data on fish consumption is robust, consistent, and positive across the board. The MIND diet, one of the most proven dietary patterns for preventing Alzheimer's, specifically recommends fish at least once a week. The data on food is solid. Now, let's look at the data for supplement trials. This is where the marketing promises fall apart. Many major, expensive, large-scale, randomized controlled trials, the gold standard of evidence, have found nothing. The VITAL trial, a massive study from Harvard involving over 25,000 adults, found no significant benefit for fish oil supplementation in preventing dementia or cognitive decline in healthy older adults. Another major review, the Cochrane Review, looked at multiple studies and came to the same conclusion: no convincing evidence that fish oil supplements prevent cognitive decline. Why? Why this massive, glaring difference? It comes back to synergy, source, and biological design. First, the source. The omega-3 in a piece of fish is bound within a complex matrix of protein, fat, and other micronutrients. Your body is designed to digest this. It encounters the food, produces the right enzymes, and the digestion is a slow, steady process. The absorption is efficient, and as I mentioned, the built-in cofactors like selenium and vitamin D are right there, ready to help. A supplement, however, is a highly processed, highly concentrated dose. It hits your system all at once, often in an unnatural form. This brings us to point 2, the chemical form. Most fish oil supplements on the market are not in the natural triglyceride form that fish have. To concentrate the oil cheaply, manufacturers convert it into something called an ethyl ester. This is not a form found in nature. Your body has to perform an extra chemical step to even absorb it, and studies show its bioavailability is significantly lower than the natural triglyceride form. Let me share a quick example from my own practice. I had a patient, let's call him Robert. Robert was 68, a retired engineer, highly intelligent, and absolutely terrified of dementia, which had affected both his parents. He was doing, in his words, everything right. He read articles, he stayed active, and he spent over $200 a month on a cocktail of high-dose, premium fish oil supplements. Yet, when we ran his blood work, his inflammatory markers were high, and on his cognitive screens, he was starting to show slippage in executive function. He was frustrated and scared. "Doctor," he said, "I don't understand. I'm taking 3 grams of fish oil a day. I'm doing everything right." We did a simple experiment. We stopped all his fish oil supplements. Every last one. Instead, I had him follow a simple prescription, eat 2 servings of salmon or mackerel per week. Just 2. He was skeptical, but he was desperate, so he agreed. We retested him 6 months later. His inflammatory markers had plummeted by 40%. A year after that, his cognitive scores stabilized. They haven't declined since. Robert hadn't needed a higher dose of an isolated chemical. He had needed the right dose, from the right source. He needed the food, not the pill. His body knew what to do with the salmon. It had no idea what to do with the oxidized ethyl esters. So, this is the part of the video where we turn this knowledge into power. How do we apply this? How do you get the brain-protecting benefits of omega-3 safely, effectively, and without spending a fortune on useless pills? First, the golden rule, the one I want you to write down. Prioritize food first. Always. Your primary goal should be to get these nutrients from your plate, not from a bottle. Aim for 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week. A serving is about 3 to 4 ounces, or the size of a deck of cards. What kind of fish? The best choices are the smash fish. This is an easy acronym to remember. S for salmon, but make sure it's wild caught. M for mackerel, A for anchovies, S for sardines, H for herring. By the way, if this information is resonating with you, if it's helpful, please take just 1 second and click the like button. It's a small click for you, but it truly helps get this vital, non-commercial message out to more people who need to hear it. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Dr. Wells, what about mercury? This is a valid, important concern. This is exactly why the smash list is so powerful. Mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring are all small fish. They are low on the food chain, so they don't accumulate high levels of mercury the way large predator fish like shark, swordfish, or king mackerel do. What about salmon? This is where the source is critical. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon has consistently shown very low levels of mercury and other contaminants. Farmed Atlantic salmon, on the other hand, is often raised in crowded pens, fed an unnatural diet, and has been shown to have higher levels of PCBs and other contaminants. So, when you choose salmon, always choose wild. Yes, it's a bit more expensive, but 2 servings of high-quality fish is still cheaper than that bottle of premium rancid pills. But what if you are vegetarian, or vegan, or you simply cannot stand the taste of fish? This is the only time I recommend a supplement. But you must be an incredibly selective, educated consumer. First, forget fish oil. Go straight to the source. Where do fish get their omega-3 from? They get it from eating algae. You can too. I recommend an algal oil supplement. It is a clean, sustainable, and vegetarian source of both EPA and DHA. Second, Whether you choose algal oil or fish oil, you must check the chemical form. Look on the label. Does it say triglyceride form or TG? Or does it say ethyl ester or EE? Always choose the natural triglyceride form. It will be better absorbed and is more stable. Third, demand proof of purity. Any reputable company will pay for third-party testing. Look for certifications on the bottle, like IFOS International Fish Oil Standards. This certification checks for oxidation levels, heavy metals, and purity. If a bottle doesn't have a third-party seal, put it back on the shelf. And finally, treat it like food. Buy small bottles. As soon as you open it, store it in the refrigerator. And never buy the giant 500 capsule value tub that will sit in your cabinet for a year. That is a recipe for a rancid, pro-inflammatory product. All right, that was a lot of information, so let's summarize the 3 most important brain-saving points we learned today. Point 1. Your fear of dementia is valid, but many popular solutions like fish oil supplements are often ineffective or even actively harmful. This is due to high rates of oxidation, poor absorption, and the lack of essential cofactors. Point 2. The scientific evidence is overwhelming. The benefits for brain health come from eating whole fish, not from taking isolated fish oil pills. The synergy of nutrients in real food is something a supplement simply cannot replicate. Point 3. If you must supplement, your best options are a vegetarian algal oil or a high-quality triglyceride-form fish oil, and you must verify its purity with third-party testing seals, like IFOS. This is how you turn fear into action. This is how you truly protect your brain. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications. I'm Dr. Sophia Wells, and my mission here is to give you the unvarnished, science-backed truth about aging well, so you never miss a brain-saving tip. And please, share this video with someone you love, a friend, a parent, a spouse, who needs to hear this. And finally, I make these videos for you. What topic do you want me to cover next? Are you worried about sugar in the brain, artificial sweeteners, the truth about memory-enhancing herbs? Comment below and let me know. I read every one, and I will make a video about it. Before we go, please remember this important reminder. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as medical advice. I am not your doctor. Always consult with your personal, qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet, lifestyle, or supplement routine. Thank you for joining me. Your health is your greatest asset. Stay sharp, stay hopeful, and protect your brain.